Hi, I'm Jeremy.
And I'm Amy.
And we planted Redemption Community Church in Port Chester, New York, in suburban New York City in 2015, ARC Church number 500. So the journey of planting a church for me really started with a question. We were in a season of transition. We had been associate pastors in my wife's hometown of Buffalo, New York, in Western New York for 6 years. And I find myself asking this question, what would it look like to be a missionary in our own country? I guess I've always kind of had a missionary's heart since Bible college days. And everything, as I was praying, everything during that season that came to me was planting a church.
Somebody spoke a word of encouragement to me and said, are you called to ministry? Are you called to be a pastor with your husband? And my answer was yes. And they said that it doesn't matter if you take an existing church or you plant a church, it's still the same end result. And I think that's what really helped me realize that that's where we were called to be. And so we stepped out and we did it.
We were like true parachute church planters. We dropped in here. And so we're just trying to meet people and get meetings together. And you would meet people and say, you know, we'd tell them, we're starting this new church. And they'd say, well, where's your church? We'd say, we don't know yet. We don't have a building. And they would say, well, who goes to your church? We're like, we don't know. We were hoping you would come to our church. And we had moved in February. By that first summer of 2014, we were sitting at a beach in a local park here, and with two people who were interested in helping us start this church. And I was thinking to myself, what in the world are we doing in Westchester County, New York? Like, God, we miss you. We put our name on this, our reputation's on the line. We raised money for this, and like, we are a complete failure. And every time we had a moment like that, God would just begin to breathe life back into it. He'd just begin to send us a few more people.
Yeah, and I remember calling one of our church planter friends and sharing a story. They had a similar story to us. Their story was difficult, and I said, I think God forgot about us. You know, we hear all these church planters that go out and step out and God blesses them with miracles and they have all these amazing stories, and we had none. We didn't have one at that time. And so I remember asking her to pray with me, and we prayed that night for miracle stories to start. We prayed that God would begin to show that He's faithful, that He would begin to answer the prayers that we needed answered. And I'll tell you what, I felt like that was a launch of something new, a new season. And from then, God began to show up in different ways, whether it was through finances for a need that we had, or through sending a person that we needed, or just providing something, from the littlest things to the biggest things. And it was just amazing to feel like He cared and He was there.
So we launched our church in an AMC movie theater. We were a theater church for 5 years. And, you know, great man of faith that I am, we actually had a contract with the theater, but I got out of the contract because at that time our launch team was so small, and that AMC theater might as well have been Madison Square Garden. I mean, we walked in there and we just felt swallowed up. And I didn't have the faith to go for it. And I actually ended up visiting another couple's launch, JD and Alina Mueller, who are close by, Connect Community Church in Stamford. And I remember seeing their launch in this big auditorium and just their faith to launch in that kind of space with a team that was similar to our size. And literally, while we're sitting in that service, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I've got to get back in that contract. And thankfully, the best thing we ever did was go big or go home and launch at the AMC Theater with just a handful of people. We sent out, you know, these mailers and not having a clue if anybody was going to show up. But 135 people showed up on launch day, March 29, 2015. But after that, we were off to the races, and we never looked back, and God has steadily grown the church since then. In the ARC family, we have this slogan that we say all the time, don't do ministry alone. And that really means something to us because, like, our closest relationships, our overseer pastors, you know, other pastors in this area are connected to the ARC family. I think about the friends that we have here locally in the New York City area, and I think it's so true, we really are better together. When I think about the faithfulness of God, I think about how we came here not knowing anybody, you know, 10 years ago, and God sent us people. I mean, our church family really is our family here, so He sent us people. Yeah, I have faith that God is going to continue to build His church, that we're going to reach more people, we're going to see more people find a relationship with Jesus, more people find a church home. Like, we still believe the local church is the hope of the world. I'm still excited about people getting saved.